jumped in off the rocks, and unfortunately the wind and bumps didn't look as good as I was hoping. I've got a big-ish foil on with 860, which should get me home, but yeah, hopefully we can get going easy enough and we'll finish.
So when I jumped in, I guess that the wind was around 10 knots, but luckily enough it had been blowing around 15 knots further south, so I did have some residual wind swell that I was able to paddle up on. The 860R is normally a really big wing for me, so in normal conditions when the wind's a little bit stronger, it's so easy for me to paddle up. But I guess in these type of conditions and bumps, it took me about 1 or 2 goes before I had the right one and I could get going. From here, I just started the pretty hard cut right. The wind was sort of pushing me onshore in this particular section of the run, but yeah, easy enough to get out beyond where I needed to be on the R series, and then it was just a matter of finding the right rhythm and tempo for the bumps and trying to conserve as much energy as possible.
Super light wind. I'm riding the 860 and I'm very much testing the low end on this big girl. Whale launch. Freaking, oh my gosh, it's one behind me. Okay. The one thing that freaks me out about foiling on this side is whales.
Sometimes I cannot stand your fear. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't be here. Don't be a fool. I'm playing too cold, so cold that you can't see how much you mean to me. Talk of the sky.
I find that when riding in light wind, a nice, narrow, even space stance really unlocks a lot of efficiency for me.
It can be exciting. Excuse for a change. We don't like the way we but nothing seems inviting except the image of your open arms calling back to me. I take you back. Yeah, I know it seems surprising when there's lipstick still on the glass. And the full moon rising, but it's me who makes myself mad. I'll take you. My body does deceive me. Just as did yours, though we're fighting different wars.
As I got closer to the end, the bumps actually stacked up a little bit nicer, so there was definitely a lot more energy in the water, which was good for the legs. Gave them a bit of a rest before I had to come through the reef and pump through the flat stuff.
All right, we're pretty much at the finish. About 17 Ks I've done, and it's been pretty fun. Super light wind. I reckon it's about 10 knots, if that. And so sort of having to work for it. But what I love about light wind riding, and I encourage everyone to give it a crack if you want to progress your skills, is just makes you look for all those early opportunities Makes you stay really high on the mast to try and maintain efficiency. And you sort of turn a lot. You really want to work your foil, work the bumps so that they build, you know, either side of you, wherever they might be. Yeah, and it's just, it's quite peaceful actually. I feel very zen. Anyway, just gonna make it in, flattens off a bit, work the legs a bit. But yeah, thanks my foilies. I'll see you later.